You're watching CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown.
Hello, I'm Juan Fernandez. Here's a look at your top stories. Today is Giving Tuesday, a day of global generosity. People are encouraged to donate to charities or causes they care about, but some scammers are taking advantage of this special day to trick people. Here to give us some insight and tips to make sure your donations are going to legit causes is California Attorney General Rob Bonta. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Honored to be with you.
First question here. Your office released some tips this week to help people protect themselves. We had them here on KCAL News. Can you go over some of them with us?
I can. And let me first say it's Giving Tuesday. And one of the things that makes California and Californians great is that we look out for each other. We take care of one another. We support one another. And those who are fortunate to have a lot and are willing to give to others, do so. And so I encourage it. I want people to give. And I also want you to give in a way that gets your hard-earned money to the end user that you want it to receive it. So that's why we provided the 8 tips to make sure that the donations that you give get to where you want it to go. One of the first ones is just making sure that the nonprofit charitable organization that you're seeking to donate to is in good standing with the California Department of Justice, my office, and you can determine that by using a search tool at oag.ca.gov under the charitable section. You can just pick the charitable search tool, and the registry will come up and it'll show you all of the organizations in good standing. So pick one of those. That means that they are legally allowed to do business in California. Another tip is make sure that you are giving to an organization that really puts your donation to work where you want it to go, that it goes into the direct services to those that you want it to help. You can look at financial records and go onto the website of different organizations to determine how much they spend on overhead versus how much they spend on direct service being provided to those in need. There are also a couple of ways that organizations can be deceptive. One is in their names. So we all know the name, for example, the Red Cross, but there was an organization that sought to benefit from the good name of the Red Cross by calling itself the American Red Cross of California. It was fraudulent. It was not the Red Cross that we know and love, and we had to shut it down in the past. Websites can also be deceptive. There was a website that used the name UNICEF in it to really benefit from the good name of UNICEF, and it was a COVID-19 UNICEF relief website, but it had nothing to do with UNICEF, which was at unicef.org. Sometimes there's high pressure tactics that went from telemarketers who call, and so this is a 5th tip. Make sure that you are comfortable and that you give if you're ready, when you're ready. You can always hang up on a high-pressure telemarketer. You can do your own research. You can call the organization directly. Never feel pressured into having to give. There are also additional tips that you can follow to help make sure that the funding gets to where it needs to go, but you always go back to the registry and looking at our website to make sure. And 2 other quick tips: beware of social media, online, GoFundMe type of funding. Sometimes that money might just go to the person that's raising the money. It might not go to a charitable organization at the end. Also, people with QR codes and portable card readers. Those look fancy, but they might not be collecting money to go to a charitable organization. So those are all some of the tips. And finally, I'll just say protect your identity, use common sense, never give your social security number out to a nonprofit organization, and only give your credit card information to a known charitable organization that you know is legitimate, is legal, and will do the work that you intended to do for the people in need. Who deserve it.
Yeah, you know, I know it's happening because my mom, for example, she received a text saying that we tried to get a package to you but you weren't home, and it had even a picture of a USPS truck. Luckily, she called me because I was about to send something, and I said, no, that's not me. Ignore that, because I even been getting those myself. So my question here is, what should people do if they think they've become a victim of charity fraud or scams?
You can call our office, and that's how we enforce the rules governing charitable organizations to make sure that there's compliance and that we hold accountable those who break the law. So oag.ca.gov, you can file a complaint with our office, and we will follow up to make sure that it is a legitimate organization, and if it's not, we will hold them accountable for violating the law. So please report to us anything that you think is suspicious, is not in compliance with the law. And to your point, the scams, the frauds, they are more and more sophisticated. Yeah. They can be very persuasive, and artificial intelligence is being used so that there's even voice scams from folks that sound like someone who's in need. That's a little bit different than some of the Giving Tuesday type scams. But the point is that there is a high level of sophistication, and I have the same conversation with my mother just to make sure that she's not being taken advantage of. And we've had some close calls at times, and I'm glad I could be there to help her out.
Do you tell her not to answer the phone if she doesn't recognize the number? That's what I tell her all the time.
I do. Yeah. I do. And one of the things that I love about her is that she believes in other people, and she trusts other people, and she loves other human beings because of their common shared humanity, and that's a good thing. I don't want her to lose that, but I don't want her to be naive either, and I don't want her to be the victim of a scam or a crime. So we try to strike the right balance, and that's just always being vigilant. And if you're not sure, listen to your instincts, listen to your gut. It's usually right. And if you're concerned, report it to us. Well,
we're good sons. We're on top of it. Another question here: has your office seen an uptick in these type of scams? Is something seasonal, something we're seeing year round now?
We give these tips to arm Californians in a way that can keep them safe and allow them to do what they want to do, to give, to contribute, to be part of Giving Tuesday, to donate their money to those in need, and so that they can do it in a safe way. And we feel compelled to do it every year this time of year because that there's a rhythm to scams and frauds. They follow certain times when people are in the giving mood. The holidays is one of those times. After natural disasters, for example, is another time. So we see upticks in scams when there's an uptick in the good human desire to give to others who are in need. So it's a time to protect yourself while you give, and we hope these 8 tips can be helpful. Something we had on the news yesterday, you were at the downtown women's shelter right here in LA, and question is, why was it important for you to give your tips there and then later volunteer? It was all in the holiday spirit of giving, and to highlight an incredible organization, the Downtown Women's Center, who has been lifting up women, homeless Californians, transforming their lives, giving them wraparound services, loving them, leading with compassion and empathy and support and services and programs that change lives for the better. And it's that spirit, that track record of success, of giving to others, of helping our community be better, that I wanted to highlight, and I wanted to say thank you. And I wanted to say that the Downtown Women's Center and other organizations, many hundreds, thousands in California, are doing this work every day, head down, sleeves rolled up, not doing it for recognition, doing it because it's the right thing to do to help others, and they are worthy of other Californians' support during this holiday time where there's a giving spirit. And so I wanted to encourage people to give. It makes us better, it makes us stronger as a state. And then I also wanted to show that besides giving money, you can give in other ways. You can give with your heart, you can give with your hands, you can give with your time. So we wanted to give back by me and my team preparing meals for those in need who are food insecure and needed a healthy meal. We packed those for individuals in LA, and we're proud and happy to do it. Yep, and we just showed pictures of that. So thank you so much for your time, Attorney General Rob Bonta. Thanks for joining us, and happy holidays to you. Thank you. Happy holidays. All right, meanwhile, the Manhattan Beach Police Department, they're warning people about phone scams happening as well. Officials say scammers are pretending to be members of the Police Officers Association and asking for donations. The department says it would never call demanding payments or personal data. To avoid being a victim, officials say ask the caller for their name and badge information, then hang up and verify them by calling the Manhattan Beach Police Department.
All right, let's turn now to the weather. Keep those umbrellas handy because you might need them this week despite all that sunshine we're seeing right here. KCAL News meteorologist Olga Ospina is tracking the latest conditions and has your next weather forecast. Olga.
Hi, Juan, and nice shot we just saw outside. Some sunshine, dry conditions, but this is going to be the end of it, at least for just a bit, because we have a series of storms on the way, and you can see the first one is sitting just offshore, but it's moving in to Northern California. Here we stop the clock at 9:15 tonight, and that's going to start impacting Northern California, move south into us, bringing us the potential already for some rain as we head into Wednesday morning. This is going to be pretty light in nature as we are catching the tail end of the system. So we're talking about 1/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch as we head into the next several days. And then here is another system that starts to impact us by Thursday into Friday. In fact, by Friday, snow levels will be dropping. A slight chance of getting a little bit of snow showers, some flurries across places like the I-5 corridor. So we'll be watching that carefully. But as we head into the weekend, some drier conditions and then numbers slowly start warming up. But here's a look at the rain chances. Again, it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then by the weekend, lessening chances for that rain. Temperatures tomorrow, they're going to be dropping pretty significant. We are experiencing 70s today, 60s for your Wednesday. And here's a look at this afternoon. So 70s all the way from the beaches to LA Inland, Orange County, valleys, as well as the Inland Empire. Low 60s for the high desert, low 50s across mountain areas. And we have been very warm for the month of November. In fact, we've only had 3 days of below average temperatures. Today expected to add another red box, but by tomorrow, that is going to be changing. LA Inland, Orange County tomorrow, high of only 64 degrees. Again, on and off rain Wednesday, Thursday into Friday. This is going to be mostly light in nature. Saturday, we'll start drying out. Some sunshine returns. Numbers close to average by Sunday and then above average as we head into Monday and Tuesday. As we take a look at the valleys, it is really going to be warming up. We actually have some low 80s in the extended forecast by early next week for some of those inland spots. And as we head into the mountains, most of the snow will be for higher elevations right around that resort level. And then by Friday, potentially those levels lowering that could impact some of those lower elevation roadways, including some of our mountain passes. But temperatures there warming up nicely as well, back into the 50s.
All right, Olga, thank you. A boiling debate over a multi-service center in Orange County. It helps unhoused individuals with mental health issues, but residents want it gone. Here's KCAL News reporter Michelle Geely.
So the story that I'm working on today is out of the city of Santa Ana. It is regarding this multi-service center. You see the sign behind me here. And what this facility is, it is a county-run program, Orange County-run program, paid for with county dollars, run by a nonprofit organization. And we were at the Board of Supervisors meeting today where dozens and dozens of residents and business people came to speak. And in essence, what they were asking for is that the Board of Supervisors vote against this multi-service center. They want it shut down. They want it out of their city. The complaints that they have, they say the clients who come here who are unhoused individuals, these are mentally ill, people with mental health problems. They come here to receive things like showers and laundry services. They can make phone calls and use the internet. In some cases, they are given recommendations for jobs and housing. The people who live in this area say that it is negatively impacting their neighborhood. They complain about drug use and other activities, criminal activities that go on in the surrounding areas as a result of the center here. They say that their children are unsafe, that they feel unsafe, and there were just all kinds of issues brought up in the meeting today. So in essence, what the vote was for the Board of Supervisors was to decide whether this nonprofit would continue operating this multi-service center that you see there. And the vote ended up as 3-2. And what that means is that the multi-service center will continue here in the city for 1 year. The way that the vote went, was that the center must find another location out of the city of Santa Ana after 1 year. And if that doesn't happen, then the county funding will in essence stop. So we will bring you all of the latest on our shows on KCAL News, and you'll be hearing from lots of people who came today to address the issue.
LA has taken new steps to crack down on parties at short-term rental properties. City council members unanimously approved a new law that would require hosts, including hotels and those on Airbnb, to obtain a police permit. That means getting permission from a local police department in order to operate. Many businesses in LA, like valets, cafes, skating rinks, and secondhand shops, are already required to get police permits. Critics say the new law adds more hurdles for rental property owners. A major South LA fire has forced more than a dozen people out of their homes. KCAL News reporter Luz Delia Caballero has a look at the destruction left behind.
Many families are left heartbroken after a massive fire broke out in a South LA neighborhood, ripping through several homes, leaving them completely destroyed. Now, this happened on Vernon Avenue here in South LA. It appears that the fire started in a construction site that's right there behind me. And I'm standing inside what was the Diaz family home. Now, there is nothing that is salvageable. Absolutely nothing was left behind. This is one of several homes that were in front of that construction site where the fire is believed to have started. Let's take you inside the home. I mean, this is the front door. There's a sign out here that point blank says unsafe, do not enter or occupy. And take a look at this. Nothing left behind. We talked to family members who were here a little earlier, and they were trying to sift through some of the things here, and they couldn't find anything that they could take out. We spoke to the head of household who was hospitalized. He had burns on his face and on his body. He is expected to be okay. He is in good spirits, but in a lot of pain. His wife was also taken to the hospital with minor burns. She's in good spirits, but of course this family is devastated. And when I say that the Diaz family home is across the way from where officials believe the fire started, this is where the construction zone is. So when this went up in flames, neighbors tell us that the homes surrounding this construction site really didn't have a fighting chance. And I'm going to try to show you as much as I can, but here you can see cars that are charred down to the metal. On this other side as well, you can see more of the same. Coming up all new at 4 on KCAL, we will share more of these testimonials of folks who have just lost everything. And in the case of the Diaz family, they didn't even have home insurance. So they are really going to depend on the community to rally and help them, you know, replace at least monetary things that were lost in this fire.
This has been CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown. Thanks for joining us. I'm Juan Fernandez. We'll be back live at 4 right here on CBS News Los Angeles.
Take part in the joy of giving by donating a gift to local children in need during the CBS KCAL Los Angeles and California Highway Patrol's Chips for Kids toy drive.
Stop by one of our locations and donate a new unwrapped toy for a child or teen. Your donation stays in the neighborhood where you donate.
Join us as we come together and support children across SoCal.
Visit us at one of our drop-off events or text the word TOYS to 76278.
Go to kcalnews.com/chips for kids for a list of live broadcast locations.
CBS News Los Angeles, your local news, streaming wherever, whenever.